Warning: the following podcast contains irreverent humor, exceptionally nerdy opinions, potential cursing, and plenty of love for the prequels. If any of the preceding offends you, please turn off this podcast immediately, and may the Force be with you.
Why, you stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking Nerfherder!
You can't use that word! Only we can use that word!
It's time for the Jedi to end.
You're tuned in to the Nerfherder Council, your source for Star Wars opinion, conversation, and debate, featuring your hosts, JT. I mean, they killed his mother. What's he supposed to do? Send him a postcard? I wish you wouldn't have done that. AJ.
Well, if you don't remember something you already saw, that does not count as a spoiler. That counts as you not paying attention.
Steve.
Sir, you have a parasol on your face. Please do not tell me what I should and should not like, sir. Thank you.
It really was. On this episode of the Nerfherder Council, we discuss a lot of things. A lot of things. How many? The number's high. It's very high. And we sing. That was off pitch.
This is the Nerfherder Council.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Nerfherder Council. I am your host, JT. With me are AJ and Steve. And I'd like to start out this show by explaining that there are 4 versions of Star Wars Trivial Pursuit that I'm aware of. And I ordered the last very rare one recently. We have the Black Series one that just came out.
Yes.
There's the original trilogy edition, the gold one that came out in, I think, like the mid to late 90s.
Yes, thank you for that birthday present.
You're very welcome. There is the DVD version that came out right before Revenge of the Sith came out in 2005. We have that.
Yep.
But there is a episode 1 specific version that's very limited edition. And I've had it in my Amazon cart for a while. It's been like $60. I'm like, now wait. And finally, the price dropped to $19 recently.
Oh, you had to jump on that.
I did. I very much did. And I was all excited this past Saturday morning, and until I opened the package, because
Are you saying that a Star Wars Trivial Pursuit set let you down?
it did.
Why? How could that be?
What happened was
What had happened was
I went to the mailbox because my brother-in-law was in town, so we were getting some lunch. So on the way over to the bar we live next door to, I stopped at the mailbox, and there was a bulky package. But it wasn't bulky enough to be a Star Wars Trivial Pursuit game. So
Sorry, you said bulky package.
that's what she said. So
Hi-oh.
I go to the bar, and I open it up, and I'm like, what the hell is this? It's this big, thick, hardcover book, and it was titled Foundations of the Christian Faith. It's like some kind of theology book or come to Jesus thing or something.
I don't remember that episode.
Right?
I could have sworn it was called Phantom Menace.
Well, I thought my friends were messing with me.
Was that like the deep cuts? That was like the B side of the.
That was the working title, like they called, Return of the Jedi Blue Harvest. That was the working title for episode 1 or something.
Or is that the discreet packaging, like when you order from certain online services?
Yeah, right. How do you know that, dude?
Radio ads? Radio ads, I swear. I listen to the radio.
So anyway, I'm like, I didn't order any book, much less this book. Like, I'm a Christian and everything, but I don't read about it. So I thought that somebody was messing with me. Ha ha. Well, about 20 minutes later, I get a notification on my phone from Amazon that says your package containing Star Wars Trivial Pursuit Episode 1 has been delivered. So I'm like, sweet. I got all excited. I ran next door. I'm looking around everywhere. No package. And I went, wait a minute. So I looked at the Amazon order, and I looked at the seller name, and I went back over to the bar, and I looked at the return address on the book, and don't you know it was the same person?
Oh, no.
So instead of them sending me Star Wars Trivial Pursuit Episode 1 limited edition to complete our collection, I got Foundations of the Christian Faith in hardcover. Yeah. I was really, really unhappy. And I sent an email. I was trying to be cool, and it was quite obvious that I was not pleased at all with the product I had received.
Dear seller. Oh, come on!
That's exactly what it was. Oh, no! So and the thing that sucks is that I sent them a message, and they said, well, let me see if someone else received the game first. And I'm like, okay. So basically, the long and short of it is they refunded my money plus shipping. And they said, well, and I said, well, just hold on to my money, because I want the game. And they came back, no, I'll refund it because nobody ordered the book that you ordered, and I don't know who has the game. Which to me says, you weren't sending me any Star Wars game. You were sending me this effing book because you're one of those people that wants to ram your beliefs down my throat. I was a little pissed.
Well, let's keep...
I wouldn't even go that far. I figured somebody that just was scamming and they're just throwing whatever in envelopes, sending it to people. Because, I mean, how many people are even going to say anything? Honestly, so many people will probably just say screw it and leave their money or whatever. And
maybe this is the online commerce equivalent of being rickrolled.
It could be. All I know is I did come out ahead.
Flip through the pages. Was there a picture of him inside the cover? Because that would be great. It would make it worth it at that point if you literally got rickrolled.
No, it's not worth it because I wanted Star Wars Trivial Pursuit.
Well,
damn it.
Let's keep our eyes on the prize and really think about what's most important. Did it reaffirm your faith in our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ?
I'm not going to answer that because I'm still pissed off.
Did you flip through the book?
I did. I have to admit I did because I was wondering if there's going to be like a personal letter or something like you need to come to Jesus or something. I'm like, man, I already have Jesus in my life. I don't need you to send me a book. I need you to send me Star Wars Trivial Pursuit questions relating specifically to the first episode of the saga that was released in 1999.
Personally, I think that my faith would be shaken by finding out that I live in a world where people send me that instead of my beloved Star Wars.
Well, that's what I said. I'm like,
like if anything, that is proof. There you go. that may be proof that God does exist, but he doesn't like us very much, apparently.
Either that or he doesn't like episode 1 very much.
You just flip over.
That's what it is. That's what it is. He didn't like that whole inference with the immaculate conception of Anakin Skywalker.
Maybe so.
That's what it is. He's like, no, man, you want to hear about a boy with no father? This is what you read.
So, anyways, I did not get my game, and I am furious.
The first page said Jesus was never going to give you up, never going to let you down.
Well, whatever it said, it didn't say a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So F that. So
God says, yeah. F you, George Lucas, and your vaguely biblical references.
Right. So I do not have a complete collection. So I was very bummed out. So that kind of sucks.
So we've still got one to get.
And I can't find it anywhere else.
It exists.
It's got to be somewhere.
Yeah, in our hearts and minds.
It exists in somebody else's house right now that was looking for a Jesus book.
Yeah, right?
We're going to have to buddy up with John from Blockade Runner because I know he owns that edition.
Does he really?
Yeah. Yeah, he told us that story. It was on our show where he played that like in line for the movie or something.
No kidding. I didn't know he had that
not in line
specific
for the movie, but in line at Celebration.
Okay. I didn't know we had the specific episode 1 version. That's cool.
As far as I know, yeah. Let's hit him up.
Wow. All right. So,
by the way, public apology. I know I promised you a T-shirt for your birthday, John. I will get it out to you. I keep seeing that in my Facebook messages and feeling guilty about it.
Oh, you slacker.
It's the last. This is why I say we only have one T-shirt left because we have a large and a small, and the large is going out to Chicago. So we got a small T-shirt left, and then we are done.
If there's anybody listening that owns a version of Star Wars Trivial Pursuit Episode 1 Limited Edition, would like to trade it for a small Nerfherder Council t-shirt, please hit us up at nerfherdercouncil@gmail.com.
And stickers.
We'll send you stickers with the shirt.
We got stickers.
Or based on the sizing of these things, or if anyone has like a 6-year-old fan of the show with maybe like an underperforming pituitary gland.
That would work as well.
That works as well, yeah.
That would work as well.
Maybe we should just put this on our cat or something and just be done with it.
Could be. So
that's what we'll do. We'll market it as pet clothing.
That would fit a pretty large dog.
I should put it on Ace. That'd be great.
You could put it on Ace.
I think I really could, actually.
You could put it on your dog Ace.
Okay, whoever gets the small, there might be some dog hair in it. I'm sorry. This experiment must take place.
Okay, so
Science!
So before we get to tonight's kind of topic, because we all forgot we were recording today, so we're kind of flying by the seat of our asses. Excuse me.
I remembered.
I don't know.
I just didn't
Fly
care to say
casual.
anything till this afternoon.
Right? So AJ, you said you're going out of town with your significant other.
Yes.
And you lied about where you told us you were going to Clearwater, but you said you lied because you want to tell me on air to see my reaction.
We're heading a little further west because the idea changed from just doing a
Clearwater's
beach.
east, you idiot.
Well, he said further west, so he
Yeah.
could be staying
Clearwater.
home.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, the original plan was to find surf and sand and, take a vacation because we live stressful lives and, we want to go, relax a bit. So what I realized is I used to live in Clearwater, so I really don't want to go right back to where I used to live and then ignore everybody that I know there because I'm on vacation with my girlfriend for like a, romantic like couples retreat thing. So we started brainstorming about other locations, and she loves aquariums. And if you remember, our mother used to always talk about how great the Monterey Aquarium is out in California.
Okay.
Wouldn't you know what's less than 2 hours away
I'm giving
from
you the
Monterey,
squinty eyes.
California?
Where are you going?
And wouldn't you know that we've got 3 days of no itinerary outside of visiting an aquarium? And wouldn't you know I got permission from the girlfriend? We're going to the Presidio.
Oh, are you
They don't
really?
do public tours, so it's not going to be like roaming the grounds of Lucasfilm. But I will be on the grounds. I will take my picture with the Yoda statue.
I would say you'd be by the fountain or
Oh,
the statue at
man.
least.
Buddy,
That's
I'm
awesome.
sorry. I am so sorry that we're not getting there first together. But when you have an opportunity to go touch greatness like that, you don't say no.
Well,
You shouldn't have brought that up because I had some news of my own.
Well, wait. Since you can't go in anyways, is there really anything stopping you from putting a Nerfherder Council sticker on Yoda's head on your way out?
Yeah, the fact that they'll know exactly where to find us.
So
then
what?
you and I get in trouble.
I don't care. You guys are accomplices.
Although actually it'd be
I'll
funny.
tell them it's my idea.
It'd be funny that gets in the news and they're like, yeah, there's some podcast called the Nerfherder Council. It gets everywhere, and all of a sudden our numbers go through the roof because people are like, that's promo.
Any publicity is good publicity.
Andy Gutierrez sends us an angry tweet.
Right.
It's all right. We'll just retweet it and pin it. That'll be
Right.
our
Yeah,
That'll be our number one tweet.
Yeah.
We wanted to have that wall of shame with all the rejection letters of, not getting to Celebration and not getting on podcast network. So let's add some angry tweets to the wall too.
Exactly.
But yeah, so my news, which I now have to change, I actually.
It's not as cool.
Oh, no, it's cooler.
Oh, okay.
I actually won passes
See, that's why he had to change it. He had to make it cooler than mine.
Nah.
to go to a media screening of The Last Jedi a month before the release of the film. And I was waiting for tonight to tell you. But since you are going to do Star Wars crap without me before, Steve, how would you like to go to a press release screening in California of The Last Jedi?
Sure. Let's
How
do
about
it.
that? You want to go without your brother? Look what you did.
The screening is in California.
Yeah,
You're going to California.
at Lucasfilm.
Just to,
And you see what happens when you go do stuff.
I'm calling a womp rat size
Nope.
pile
When
of
you go
bullshit on
crap
this one.
without me first, that's what happens.
I call poodoo. Poodoo all over this thing. No, first of all, there's no way you would have been able to hold in that secret until we recorded. And two, you're
good.
not losing your over it. So there's no way this is true.
That's because I'm just trying to reconcile myself. I'm lying to reconcile myself with the fact that you're going to go do something like that without me. You're an
Dude.
a-hole.
Look, you can ask Heather if you can come along.
You're a sellout, man. You needed to stay at the aquarium. That's a dick move. I wouldn't do that to you.
It is kind of a dick move because
No, it's not kind of.
Well, it wasn't her
Steve,
idea.
is this a dick move or is this not a dick move?
This was exactly.
He's going to the Mecca for the first time and he's not doing it with me.
This is exactly why it's a dick move because it wasn't her idea. I was like, hey, I think Monterey's close to San Francisco.
It's a dick move if he
And
doesn't
as
put
soon
the
as-
sticker on Yoda.
Yeah, as soon as,
Steve, get my side or shut up.
so
Teabag the Yoda statue.
So-
then we'll forgive you.
That's a Trekkie thing to do.
So if I'm not a miscreant, then it's a dick move.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
I try to give you ways for me to join your side of this, and those are just my stipulations.
So yeah,
that's all.
so my vacation is going to be visiting an aquarium, partying at the Yoda statue, and finding some rice-a-roni.
This would be like nice. The San Francisco treat.
I'll bet you nobody in that city even eats that.
What if I was able to go to the Lego factory and I was with Steph and I was like, hey, guess where I'm going? And I went to see that without you first. That's what that's like.
He's got me. Damn
That's
it.
crazy.
I was gonna say, he would be pretty mad about that.
That's crappy.
But dude, if you were within striking distance of the Mecca, with or without me, wouldn't you go?
I couldn't.
How often? Okay, there's only one time in our lives we've been to California, and it was for Star Wars, and we were too far away to go there because Los Angeles is too far away from San Francisco. It's like what, 6 hours? We said, or something like that.
Certain things have to be done together as a first time when you're
But
fans
when
like we
you're
are.
within the same distance of Lucasfilm as our mother's house is from here, which we do on a regular basis because we love our mom, we're good like that.
Yeah, this is very true.
You go. You don't turn it down because the right company isn't there.
You don't.
You wouldn't either, and you know it.
I would definitely.
If you have 3 unplanned days, 2 hours away from Lucasfilm, tell me you're not going to Lucasfilm.
If you're not there, no.
Right.
I'm not.
Right. Okay.
You know me very well, Steve.
Everybody-
Don't you think that I actually would go? I can't do that. It has to be with AJ.
All right, I'm putting up a Twitter poll at NHC Podcast. We're going to find out how many of our listeners actually believe that load of crap you just spewed.
Fine. Go ahead.
There's no way, dude. There is no way you are turning that down.
As truthful
That's
as
fine.
possible, I would go and not tell you guys till I was there.
I was considering that too.
I would send you pictures.
I was considering, but I just couldn't
And then I
hold it
would
in.
wait for you guys to try to call me on my BS and go, you just Google image that. And I go,
I'm the only.
haha, selfie.
I'm the only one with a heart on this show.
The reason I didn't go that route is because I knew once I said we had to change our podcast schedule around me being out of town, which now that I think about it, we don't because we record on Wednesdays and I'll be here. But anyway, I figured it would, the next question obviously be, oh, where are you going on vacation? And then I would say Monterey, and you go, I figured, if I'm going to California, you would probably look up and see how close to Lucasfilm is he.
Actually, no, because I don't know where anything is in California except for Anaheim and LA. So I really don't give a damn.
That's exactly what I was thinking too when he brought up California. I was like,
I-
how far away is that?
Yeah.
Well, it's a hell of a lot closer than Ohio is to Lucasfilm.
Because I was trying to put 2 and 2 together, and him saying he was going to save it for the show, and I was like, wow, okay, that's got to be it. What else would it be? And
You know what this is? If this was WWE, this would be when the tag team breaks up and one guy hits the other with a chair in the middle of a promo.
it's
Like,
Shawn
we're gonna
Michael-
take the
it's
tag
Shawn
team-
Michaels super kicking
Yeah.
Marty Jannetty through the window.
Exactly, on the barbershop. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
There's some 1992 reference for you.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay, we'll update it then. It's like when Tommaso Ciampa beat up Johnny Gargano on NXT about 3 months ago. There you
Jeez,
go.
oh, man, that sounds like you're ordering food at an Italian restaurant.
Hey, that's Johnny Wrestling. He's from Toledo, Ohio. Respect.
Good for him. I have no idea who he is.
All right, well, we could get him back, John, because I got insiders in California when Star Wars Land's getting ready to open and stuff. I got Disney bloggers that could probably get us in early.
How about that?
Okay, I'm
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go fly the Millennium Falcon, and you're going to be sitting your ass in Ohio, and I'd be like, look where I am.
well, I'm going to apologize up front for actually giving us something to talk about instead of my vacation. It's a handy diversion anyway to get me off the hot seat. So let's talk about that because I was looking up D23 news, and they're talking about a projected opening date for the Star Wars Land in Anaheim being in the spring of 2019. So apparently it's going to open ahead of the Orlando one.
Yes. I think Orlando was on pace for 2020 or something like that right
So
now.
based on the timing and the rumors we heard that Celebration was supposed to coincide with the opening, are we assuming that Anaheim is a very plausible location for the next Celebration instead of Orlando this time?
No, it's in Dubuque. I already read online. It's in Dubuque, so you should book a hotel room in Dubuque for spring of 2019. I promise I'll be there. In fact, I'll do it for you. Let's go online and I'll book hotel rooms in Dubuque.
It's in New Prince Edward Island, Canada.
I thought the Rocky Mountains would be a little more rocky than this. John Denver's full of man. Yeah, no, but all.
So what do you think? If Celebration
AJ comes home with a T-shirt that says "I went to Dubuque" and all I got was this stupid T-shirt.
and I've got like Star Wars swag out the wazoo. Like, how did you get that? Well, you didn't see the Celebration store? It was right there. They gave out numbers.
You must have been on the wrong side of the street, man.
Yeah. How did you not see that? There were 100,000 people there.
He gives me the address of the mall with the Disney store there. Like, there you go. There's a whole rack of Ray figures. What are you talking about? It's not Celebration.
Yeah, that's Celebration. Look at that. I mean, and the hell, some of this is on clearance, man. They marked down the prices because of Celebration's popularity in Dubuque, whatever state Dubuque is in, because I forget.
Iowa? No, that's Des Moines.
Yeah.
Maybe also. I don't know.
Or Idaho.
Shut up, computer.
Are you Googling Dubuque?
Entertaining and educational. That would be something for everyone on the Nerfherder Council.
That would be a heck of an announcement. Star Wars Celebration 2019 coming to Dubuque. Once we figure out the state, we'll let you know. Yeah. Well, at least it wouldn't be a tourist town, so it wouldn't have all that Disney traffic and everything like you do at Anaheim and Orlando. So, anyways, back on your positing there. Yeah, it would seem to make sense.
Yeah, it does make a lot of sense, honestly.
So
I mean, and it also
you down for another Anaheim trip?
No, but I'm going because it's Celebration.
Iowa.
Is it Iowa?
Sweet.
There it is.
6th grade fails me again.
You know what we can do while we're in Iowa? Oh, wait, I won't be there. I'll be in Anaheim while you're in Dubuque, Iowa. So take that.
Flying the Millennium Falcon and possibly getting kicked out for not vacating the seat for the next people.
Damn right.
Well, then I'll just have to go visit the birthplace of James T. Kirk.
See, you're just digging a hole on this show. You're just digging a hole. No, but that actually would coincide with the supposed release date of episode 9.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, there's that.
It's supposed to be May of 2019. So if it's like spring, that would make sense. But I don't know how they're going to get that out by then. A year and a half. They would already have to be well into filming and production right now. It's not well into. I mean, it still is like 22 months away.
Yeah,
but they would have to start filming like by the end of the year or something. A year and a half is pretty short for one of these movies.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on with that production right now. I wish I remembered when episode 8 went in front of cameras compared to when 7 wrapped.
Yeah. I don't know. No, but that would make sense. And yeah, like you said, the rumor that we heard that they're going to try and coincide like the opening of the Star Wars park with the next Celebration. So, and it does make more sense than the rumor we heard of October, because October is just like, what?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of a very arbitrary month. Like what considering what the other celebrations have been, they've all been April or August that we've been to.
Plus Star Wars already owns the fourth quarter of the year with Force Friday all the way into whatever movie's coming out. So
yeah,
they don't need to stack Celebration in there too. They want to get our cash in the spring and the fall.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. I actually didn't see anything like that. I'm just waiting for more information.
That's what I was trolling for. I was trying to find out if there was anything like confirmed yet as far as like what's going to be shown or talked about. All I know is that Rian Johnson's going to be at D23. That's it. So,
well, they have nothing at San Diego Comic-Con, which is kind of that ought to be a dead giveaway. They're doing some more. I'm really surprised.
How do you feel about that?
I was just about to say, it's kind of weird. Like it seems like we got a lot more.
There's nothing at Comic-Con for Star Wars this year.
And also, I mean, they've done
except for a $2,000 watch.
Yeah, that $2,000 watch. That is still, I'm like, really? 2,000? No, I was
see somebody at that watch, I'm going to break it.
Can't get that fixed, you jerk.
Yeah.
No,
that's just a very expensive kick me sign. That's what that is.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's cool. You like the Fett too?
No, Steve, I was going to say that, I mean, we've gotten so much less of episode 8 than we did for episode 7 at this time. It's really kind of, and obviously that's going to change.
Right.
But that's kind of weird. I mean,
maybe they just feel like they don't have to shove it down our throats because there's not a 10-year gap, between movies this time,
or there's such a plot twist they're just holding back on giving anything because they want the whole thing, everyone to just be on the edge of their seat, like me. completely just going crazy for the film.
Well, I'm
when
going
it
to be
comes out.
I'll be cynical about that because they are still in the business of making money. So withholding hype because they're preserving a story secret, I don't think so. If they can make more money by hyping it up, that's what they're going to do.
I really don't know what their purpose is for this. I mean,
Well, I mean, if you go back to 2015, we did get the Celebration trailer, and then when was the next one? There was kind of a dead spot there before we got the next trailer, wasn't there?
it was summer, wasn't it?
There was weird little stuff like there was the Omaze campaign videos and there was the
that's
behind the
and,
scenes.
and I mean,
well, that's pretty much confirmed that what we're. That's actually, I think, it has been confirmed is what we're getting at D23 is the behind the scenes thing.
yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, and they did have the merchandise they were pushing all year too. But yeah, I was just thinking about trailers.
They've got to come up with something though, because you realize we're only like 6 weeks away from Force Friday at this point.
Really?
Force Friday is like usually the first Friday in September, right?
Holy crud! I didn't realize it was that close.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're only a
because-
month and a half out from the full reveal. You think they'd have more to build it up than just the one trailer they dropped 2 months ago?
The next trailer in 2015 was with the Avengers or whatever. So that was
that was the same one.
Was it the same
I remember
one?
that for a fact because I was actually just about to say that.
Okay, yeah,
that when
because I remember
Avengers
they're
came out in
making-
May. The Avengers movie came out in May,
I
and
thought
we
there was
saw
some-
that in 3D before.
Yeah, I thought there was something like midsummer that we got another trailer.
That's what
I
I
remember.
thought,
There was
too.
like
Maybe it
3
was later.
trailers because the one was like right before the movie came out. So when the hell was the second one?
Maybe it was in like September or something.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
All I know is I want more,
Cool
damn
for
it.
Force Friday.
Yeah, all I know is I want more.
I do.
It does seem weird that they've completely rested on their laurels from dropping the trailer at Celebration.
This movie
It's
is
3
like,
months on from that
it's
almost.
killing me, this movie. I want to see it so bad. I walked into the theater last Friday to see Spider-Man, and they have the Last Jedi poster up, and I was like, I want that now.
Isn't that amazing? Like they keep talking about what a different direction this is, and I'm so excited for that. Like the nostalgia piece, because that's really what Episode 7 was.
Yeah.
That was fun, and that like satiated us for getting back the original trilogy feels. But I'm glad that they're like, okay, cool, we've got them hooked. We've paid homage to what came before. Now we're planted, we're established, and here's where we're going with the story.
Yeah.
If the problem is though, if they don't really go off in a new direction and it just seems like more of the same, that's going to be such a buzzkill. I'm expecting something weird. I kind of want this one to be a divisive movie. I don't want everybody to love it. I want some people to walk out of that going, that's not Star Wars. What the hell was that?
I want it to be like Rogue One, where you're like, that's totally different, but it's still absolutely amazing.
Okay.
That's what I would hope for.
I was thinking more of like a prequel direction, because some people, they went into Episode 1 expecting more of the original trilogy, and when they didn't get it, they were pissed. But that makes it.
Well, I agree with you on that, wanting something different. And
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. If that line, it's time for the Jedi to end, if that's just a trailer thing, like in Rogue One.
Oh, man, I hope not.
Like in Rogue One, where there's a whole bunch of stuff in the trailer that was not in the movie.
Mhm.
If that's one of those, that's going to be pretty much like, what the heck?
I don't think that's going to be the case on this one.
I don't either.
Because with, again, all the extensive reshoots that Rogue One underwent, the story itself was still very much in flux when the trailers were being made. This one seems to have been a much smoother production from start to finish. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the things we've seen and heard so far are locked in.
Yeah.
Maybe not the exact same take, because they do a couple and something fits better in the trailer than in the production, but
Yeah.
the line will be in there, I'm sure.
I've read little things, and it's like, I'm super excited, but some of the stuff is just like, really?
Do you think Luke's summer robes are going to make it in?
Right? Well, there's already
Showing a little calf there when he's talking about killing off the Jedi. So
there's already talk about like Achto birds or something.
oh yeah.
I'm like, who the hell cares about that? What do I need to see the foliage on Achto now too? What am I watching the Nature Channel, for Christ's sakes? Like, who cares? Just show lightsaber stuff and Jedi stuff, and show me where the Jedi came from, First Order, Resistance, whatever, blah blah blah. I don't need birds. I'm not watching National Geographic.
It does make you wonder, like, how much the people that are in the know already know, because the drip of leaks, they're so insignificant. But
Yeah.
if you want to get clicks on your website, any new Star Wars anything, so like, okay, today we're going to talk about what one of the First Order vehicles might look like. Next week, it's birds.
Yeah. So far,
birds.
So far with episode 8, we've got a force tree and Achto birds. So what you have is a nature special with lightsabers. Sweet. I can't wait for that.
Sounds great. It's riveting.
I know. That's what it's all going to be. It's just going to be all in Achto. And they're going to be like training with John Williams' score. But then the other half of the movie is going to be, these Achto birds are migratory in the winter, and in the summer they actually build nests 4 at a time, and they make 7 babies apiece. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell is this? Like,
The mother eats the smallest baby.
It'll get like a 10-page subsection of the art of the Last Jedi book.
it'll actually come in like a commemorative, like National Geographic cover. It'll actually say National Geographic, and it'll have like Achto birds on it.
No, I mean
They'll include them in the incredible cross sections and get really like anatomical with them.
no, let's remember who owns this. This is going to be a Disney nature movie.
Right? It'll
It's
be
gonna
like Bambi.
They're going to follow, the one chimpanzee as he tries to find his family
Right.
in a disappearing world of his rainforest. And
It's basically going to be Empire Strikes Back mixed with March of the Penguins. That's what the Last Jedi is going to be. You've got lightsabers and the Millennium Falcon and frickin' birds. That's the new. There's your new Star Wars film, people. Okay, it's a wrap. Click.
So without actually revealing anything that could potentially be a spoiler, how much of spoilerish material do you guys know?
You know what?
next to nothing.
Next to nothing, and it's not because I'm trying to avoid it. There's really nothing out there.
There really isn't, because I've gone and at least tried to see what is available, trying to find out if I want to look at it or not. And
Yeah.
like I saw like the Lego figure lineup for the first wave. I'm like, oh, okay, so they're making a couple characters there, but of course it's the first wave before the movie comes out, so there's not going to be any huge spoilers. But I'm like, okay, well, there's Resistance troopers, there's some First Order troopers, there's a Finn, there's a Poe, there's a Rey, there's another Hux figure.
I know.
Hux gets
Wasn't there-
second Lego figure. That's awesome.
I was
Wasn't there
actually
like an all black BB unit or something
Yeah,
that's coming in one of the sets?
Yeah.
Well, there
I
you
just saw
go
that
for the
today.
lack of spoilers. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's like they have a Snoke figure that has like yellow clothing, so it's like he's in like day clothes or something.
You guys are killing me. I'm trying to preserve this for anyone listening, but you guys are just blowing right through it.
Oh, I'm
A
sorry.
black BB thing. Oh my God, there might be a mouse droid.
I know.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, I didn't mean to give away Snoke's morning wear for you. By the way, he drinks coffee in it, and he takes his bacon slightly limp. There's your spoilers. Snoke is a morning person, and he has a bathrobe. There you go. There's your spoiler. Oh, the movie's ruined.
Well,
ruined.
actually,
I tell you,
I'm sorry.
ruined.
I'm sorry. I forgot for a moment. This is an audio podcast, so that doesn't mean that we've actually shown an image of the figure. So we're good.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
and-
yes, that's your spoiler. Snoke
So
does
it'll-
wear clothing.
Yeah.
I'll put it up on our Twitter page
Yeah.
later.
Really, the only, and I don't think it's really a spoiler considering they announced it, but Rosemary Tran's character, it's somebody, her name is, character's name is Rose, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that Rose, Kelly Marie Tran, that's who it is. Rose is actually a somewhat major character and goes adventuring off with Finn. That's what they announced. That's really the biggest news, I guess.
Well, it's a new
The
Star Wars property. It has to have a woman introduced.
The Snoke minifigure just looks like an old crotchety man.
I mean, that is.
I know, isn't that weird?
Jeez.
What?
Wasn't one of the questions about Snoke the scale of the figure? Like is he really as gigantic as his hologram? And blah, blah, blah. So if you talk about what size the Lego figure is, that kind of gives it away.
He didn't say what size it is. He just said what it looks like.
Well, all minifigures are the same damn size. So
Yeah, unless you have like the Hulk.
And they have nano figures and big figs. So there actually are different scales.
all right, normal minifigs then.
So is this where we say what size the Snoke figure is because we know, Steve?
Regular.
All right, well, he gave it away. I didn't do it, so there you go.
So I guess that's one more ripoff Force Awakens did, is they took the Emperor hologram from Empire Strikes Back and they pulled the same trick with Snoke in Episode 7. Like, I'm gigantic. Nah, just kidding. I'm really the regular size.
No, they just stole that from the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah,
Actually, that's probably where Empire Strikes Back got it from.
that's like
That's an homage.
when they make fun of Magic Johnson and Family Guy, where he's like, "Hi, I'm Supreme Leader Snoke. I'm like 50 feet tall and I sit in a throne." No, but I'm seriously like 5'10". It's like one of those.
You were just watching the Family Guy Star Wars,
I
weren't you?
may or may not have downloaded those onto my tablet and my phone so that I could watch them immediately following the actual Star Wars episode that I rip on.
Well, I may or may not also be linked up to your Google account, so I get those emails with the receipts and also the downloads. So,
You're very welcome.
so
you're
on my
very
way
welcome.
to visit our mother, who is farther away than the Presidio is from where I'll be next month.
F you.
I had time to watch Blue Harvest.
If you come home to a flaming bag of dog poo on your doorstep, don't wonder where it came from.
And now come Bantha Poodoo.
Little signage. I've got your Presidio right here. So speaking of, you made a comment about, of course, it's a new character or something, they have to introduce another female. Have either of you guys watched any of those new Forces of Destiny cartoons?
I was stuck in traffic, like at a standstill on my way to work the other day, so I watched them all.
I saw a couple.
Well, whatever number you guys have watched, subtract that exact number, and that's exactly how many I've seen. 0. I have less than no interest in watching that.
All right, I'll give you a quick review, so you can just forget about it again. Apparently, I think these things are canon.
They are canon.
Okay.
They said that at Celebration.
Okay. They're very short. They're super corny, but basically, like, remember the original Clone Wars series, the one that was drawn really like strangely and everything, the Gendy series?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that in a few ways. Like, everything's really super exaggerated and very stylized. The cool thing, though, is all the voices where possible are original.
I know that part of it.
So, like, the only difference being, like, they didn't get the prequel actors, they got the Clone Wars actors. So Padme is the Padme from Clone Wars. Matt Lanter is doing Anakin's voice.
Okay.
Tom Kane is doing Yoda. But I mean, they got Lupita Nyong'o to do Maz's voice for the intro to every episode. Rey is done by Daisy Ridley, and they got Felicity Jones to do Jyn. So it's cool.
It's
like
all
that.
getting released through the Star Wars website and stuff. So,
Yeah.
they can afford to get all the good voice actors to
Yeah,
do,
right.
or the real actors to do the voiceover.
It's just funny because it seems, I mean, they're only like, what, 3 to 5 minutes at most?
Something like that.
They're
yeah.
super brief. To invest in getting the voice actors to reprise their roles for these, that's like a big investment for a very like small payoff, it seems.
Well, but I mean, from what I understood at Celebration, they were saying that these are basically geared towards attracting young girls.
Yeah.
So
They
they're
tie
trying
into the Hasbro line that looks like Barbies.
Yeah. Which
There must be a
Okay.
hell of a lot of money in that because it can't be cheap to get these, legitimate film actresses to come in and do cartoon voices.
Well, I'm sure for them it's also a case of, the whole female empowerment thing. Like, well, yeah, I'm
Mhm.
helping to, bring girls into the Star Wars universe and make it cool for women to be in Star Wars and all that kind of thing.
Do you think that's just part of the deal now? Like anyone who signs on for Star Wars, they're like, look, you're going to be in video games. You're going to be on TV shows. You're going to be in movies. Just deal with it.
Probably. I mean, you'd have to
Yeah.
assume so.
You're signing your life away. Just deal
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
It would make sense.
That was probably a big problem for them before because they would always have to recast the parts because they just didn't think about the multimedia platform that is modern marketing.
Yeah. No, I mean, that would make sense. That's what I would think.
But the one thing that these things really secured for me, though, there's 2 that are kind of like sequential with Rey. I love everything about that character. Like even
Rey is
in this,
awesome.
even in this form, just Daisy Ridley's voice, and actually, I think she also did the voice in the Lego Star Wars Force Awakens game too, which of course goes off script and has like expanded levels and everything. But
I forget because I had that and beat it. I don't remember.
but it's something about that character is just like every time she's doing anything, I'm mesmerized.
Yeah.
It's like that's the best thing by far to come out of Force Awakens.
Oh yeah. The third best.
Third best. So
fourth best.
what's better than Rey in the Force Awakens?
The Millennium Falcon.
Yes.
Already
And-
existed. Doesn't count.
You shut up, you traitor.
Well,
What's the second one, Steve?
It's got to be something to do with Han coming
There you
back.
go.
So,
And what's the third one? You're almost there. You've almost completed the triumvirate.
it's got to be something else.
Graveyard
Han
of Giants.
did. And it's
No, not the scene. Your headphones.
the Chewie coming
Yeah.
back.
Han, Chewie, and the Falcon are the 3 best things, and then Rey is after that.
None of those 3 things were invented for the movie, though.
I don't give a.
Okay,
It's
the
Han
best.
Solo, Chewbacca, and the
Fine.
Millennium Falcon.
So Rey is the best new thing to come out of Force Awakens.
No.
There was a new satellite dish on the
Yeah,
Falcon.
we had a new satellite dish in the Falcon, so that's new. Han Solo had gray hair, and Chewbacca
New shirt.
Yeah,
Had fingers. He had fingers.
yeah. Chewbacca had fingers, so those are all new. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, she's going to climb up one rung because of those three things, only two of them lived through the whole movie. So
See, I knew that one was coming. I was trying to avoid that one.
So you're going to the Presidio without me? You're making Han Solo death jokes? I'm going to spit in your beer when we go to the bar after this. Either that or dip my, in it.
I've got my finger on the hotkey.
Well.
Feel free to say what you want to say. It'll
know.
never make air.
So,
like all that
anyways,
hate
back
you're
on.
spewing.
Yeah,
I'll
right?
just edit it out with a.
Yeah, dipping sound. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched it. I just have no interest in it. I mean, I know it's canon, and I'm not against it. I'm just the cartoons don't really do a lot for me.
The one thing that was kind of funny is the Leia episode with the Ewoks actually paints in how the hell she got that damn dress.
Speaking of things we get that we don't know that we need that part of the story of.
Well, damn it, Family Guy. They point out these things like you're in the middle of a mission for the rebels and you have time to go braid your hair and change into a dress. Like what the, that did make no sense at all. I didn't realize it didn't make sense because I saw it when I was 4. And then
Yeah.
Family Guy comes along and tells me everything that was stupid that I didn't notice.
Yep.
But yeah, so it's real quick. She, helps out the Ewoks, basically like right after she's done with her intro scene with Wicket, then some stormtroopers find them, capture. I think it's Wicket gets captured. She saves him, and they take her back to the village. Yeah, they take her back to the village and gift her with the dress as like a thank you.
As they braid her hair.
Yeah, that's okay. They skip over a few parts, but
There's hairdresser Ewoks. That's what they don't tell you. Then,
but at least it wasn't just like, hey, we had this human-sized dress laying around because we are what are you guys looking at?
Nothing. He's just looking up articles. So
Yeah, so rather than have a whole bunch of like Ewok seamstresses that are just producing garments for creatures of other species,
see, that's
it was actually like, hey, we want to reward her with something. Let's make her something.
Well, there you go. So again, that's what they're not telling you.
I still don't think I would put it on right there, though. I'd be like, thank you. I'll wear this after I'm done with my extremely dangerous military mission.
She actually doesn't like it. She's just wearing it to be polite right in front of him.
Right?
So as soon as she's off of Endor, she's like, get this crap off of me.
So they don't eat her because we've already covered how they're freaking cannibals.
Right?
That's probably what the offer was. It was all in Ewokese, but it was probably wear this or we'll eat you.
Could you imagine that? Actually, what that is like the Ewoks actually can't see worth a crap.
You
So
know what
she
it
found
is?
that, and it's,
You know what it is? It's like the dress in Raiders of the Lost Ark,
yeah.
where she's doing the same thing. She's like, all right, I know they're partying it up later. When they get drunk, I'm making my escape.
With a cheese knife
Right?
and getting drunk on some like French vodka or whatever it was. Getting them all hammered.
Ugh.
So, by the way, I actually had something that I wanted to bring to the table as well, that kind of piggybacks off of what we talked about last week.
Okay.
Since we had no set topics tonight, I actually went online and just, looked up anything that looked interesting. And there was actually somebody that put, it's like an opinion article, and we're not going to go article trolling like we do a lot of the time, but he actually came up with a list of 12 things that he thinks could be made into standalone films after Han Solo.
Okay. Are we gonna run these down point by point, or can we rule out a couple right off the bat for being stupid in case they're in there? Can I guess? Can we guess? Oh, this is fun. Can we guess? I want to guess.
It's like wait. We need. It's like
Yoda backstory. No.
Well, that's one of them, and I actually wouldn't mind seeing that.
All right, keep going. We got 11.
I think
the top 11 answers are on the
yes,
board
we're playing
now.
Family Feud. Family Feud. Okay, next one. Boba Fett backstory.
Yes. I wouldn't mind that one.
All right.
Well, hold on. Let's eliminate the ones that really need eliminated, and then we can actually get into the other ones.
Ewok movie.
No. I'll
Cad Bane movie.
Unfortunately, no, because that'd be kind of cool.
Wow. Okay. He seems like a guy that could totally like work into a script somewhere.
Well, okay, these last 5. Okay, I'll start at the bottom. He didn't like rank them like 1 to 12 is what I really want to. I really want to see.
By the way,
But-
AJ, you did a great job. We would have totally not gotten our 3 strikes if we were playing Family Feud still.
Right? Okay, so all right, Dawn of the Jedi.
I knew it. I was going there next. I know it's going to be an origin story of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's something that already exists, and he's like, we could do this, that, and the other. So I was like, no.
It will be referenced in some form in Last Jedi. Therefore, already covered.
Yeah, Knights of the Old Republic. Go figure.
Oh, movie adaptation of the video game.
Basically,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I said. Republic Commando.
Is he just going over like old Lucas?
I was saying,
Lucasfilm,
isn't that like a
video games?
1992 video game?
That's what he said.
Next one, Masters of Terrakasi.
Rogue Squadron.
Also a video game.
Well, this one he didn't reference to the video game though. He just said he wanted it'd be cool to see a movie about a certain squadron of X-wing pilots, and I'm like, why?
Oh, he's one of those people that was disappointed when Rogue One came out because he thought it was going to be about Rogue Squadron.
No, he was excited about that, but he said he did kind of before they really said what the plot was or what it was about in detail.
All right,
That's what he thought it was going to
next
be.
one, Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2.
Weren't there some people? Yeah. Star Wars Connect.
Well, this next one,
The intergalactic dance battle.
yeah. Oh, your mama fight, Robot Chicken. This next one is a comic book, and I don't understand why everyone is all about this character because it was just the winner of the fan vote for the newest Black Series figure, Dr. Aphra.
You know, with all the hype around that character, I'm probably going to get pulled into reading those. I don't read comics, but when you hear it so much, you're like, maybe I am missing something.
That goes back to what we were talking about with some of the books, though. There's not enough of a fan base that is going to read that's going to flock to the movie theaters to see that.
Isn't that perfect though? Because it'll be new to them, but it'll have meaning for people that
because we would all see it, obviously, but like AJ, you said you might read it, but John and I are instantly, if they make that movie, we would just be going because it's Star Wars. Yeah. It's not like we would ever sit down and do any kind of backstory reading on this guy.
I don't know that I would go see that because I'd be like,
there's always streaming on the internet.
Do you think Star Wars is there yet? Like even Rogue One and the Han Solo movie, like they're sticking with cinematically established characters. They haven't yet gone the route of basing a movie around new characters.
I actually thought of that today, and they haven't yet, but I also think that with the new characters, like you got Rey and you have Finn and Poe and Kylo Ren and Snoke and all this kind of stuff. The prequels exist because you were excited about the Vader character and you heard during the Clone Wars and Anakin Skywalker, like, oh my God. So they could say stuff in the new trilogy that would lead to wanting to know more about something, you know? So, I mean, we don't know that there's not something that's going to come out like, holy crap, you know? So
that's what I'm saying. Like, do you think like an Ahsoka movie, which I'm sorry, is that on the list?
It was actually the very next one.
Okay. Well, there we go.
Yeah. You're good at this.
I swear I didn't look at this at all either. You deliberately didn't share the article with us so we wouldn't know about it.
Mm-hmm.
But like Ahsoka is a great example. Everyone loves that character, but that's still only in TV and other forms. Do you think there's enough weight in the character to make a movie and attract the audience that they need to?
I would say possibly, just because she's been on TV the entire time her character's been around. It's not something that you have to go grab a book or a comic book for. So it's still so easily available to the norm, the fan, that it might work.
It could. I mean, there's definitely a fan base as opposed to the other stuff is pretty, you know, if you pick any of those other 5, Dr. Aphra, Rogue Squadron, Republic Commando, Knights of the Old Republic, and Dawn of the Jedi, except with the possible exception of Knights of the Old Republic, if you did an Ahsoka movie, that one would draw more people than the others.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figure.
So, but I mean, would it be enough to carry its own film?
Right.
I mean,
right. Like Saw Gerrera got into Rogue One, but it wasn't like the marketing push of Rogue One was find out more about Saw Gerrera.
Yeah.
It was like, no, here's Death Star plans. Oh, and there's a Clone Wars character in there.
You know
How
what?
cool is that?
The Ahsoka movie might be the lowest grossing movie of all the Star Wars movies, but it would do all right.
Yeah, I mean,
Like it's not going to make Last Jedi money or anything like that. But
and they could always tell the story of when she was excommunicated from the Jedi Order to when she shows up in Rebels. They could tell that story.
yeah, it fills that whole backstory.
Yeah, I mean, you
there.
could do that, and it brings Vader into it for some weight.
With Disney's deal with Netflix, that would be like the equivalent of the old straight to DVD movies. I could see them. They could do like a Netflix exclusive original Ahsoka movie.
They can almost do a series, make it like a 12-part something or
like,
other.
just one season. You don't need to beat it into the ground because there's not that much story to tell. But yeah,
they could. I mean, I would watch it.
Yeah, there's so many new characters being introduced in various channels now. Like I wonder when we're going to get to that point where we're going to get a movie based off of something that wasn't a product of the original vision. Everything coming on the screen is still a product of what George Lucas put out.
Right.
We haven't yet gotten to this is all Disney's creation and it didn't even show up in a movie first.
Yeah. Well, again, I mean, I think the new movies could change that. So, I mean, that's a possibility. That was the unfortunate part about everyone dying in Rogue One.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if you had more stories with those characters, I think based on the success of Rogue One, I think people would flock to the theaters to see more stuff about that.
I think they've done enough world building though, where they still got threads they can pull on. I mean, everyone. I still got to get back to that Guardian of the Wills book, but that whole concept is just cool. Like everyone saw Baze and Chirrut, and they're like, I want to know more about these guys.
Yeah, right.
And they're not the only ones, so they could just expound on that whole concept in general. I think that's what we talked about this last week. I think the Han Solo movie is kind of designed to do that a little bit, is set up some more of this or pull in more of this like other channel kind of stuff, like comic references and books and stuff to get it on the screen. Once it's on the silver screen, then you can use it in other movies and it seems legit.
Yeah. I wonder if they're actually trying to make like consciously make characters that they think people will gravitate towards, to where that's where they can then spin off, like, not saying this is going to be the case, but like Beckett in the Han Solo movie, like the scoundrel guy that Han Solo's,
that Woody's character.
Yeah, he's called Beckett. So, I mean, like maybe something like that where like, okay, well, this now opens up, okay, we want to know more about Beckett and, wherever Han came from, this, that, and the other. It's like, let's learn about that. Like, so maybe they're doing it for that reason.
Could be. I mean, I do like that they're branching out. I don't want like the 1700th Luke Skywalker story or, there's only so many adventures each character can go on. You need to start branching out your characters so you can start telling different stories.
Well, that's what's cool about episode 8. If it goes
There's just 3 movies of nothing but Luke going to Tashi Station.
Yeah, right. But I mean,
come on.
Handicap power converters and blue milk.
You are such a Luke Skywalker hater, you dark side lover. But no, I think that's what's awesome about episode 8 is, if it goes in the direction it seems like it's going plot wise, it does open all that extra stuff up, which is cool. Because if you turn the whole Jedi, the philosophy of the Jedi on its ear, then you can, all of a sudden there's all this other stuff you could tell. Like, so the other ones are Darth Maul, which I don't think too many people complain to get a movie about Maul.
No, it's a tough one. It's again that prequel thing that we're talking about. You know where he ends up.
The toughest part is because
you know how Rogue One ends up, and you know where Han Solo ends up. So,
well, Rogue One was about heretofore unknown characters. So at least there, like the events that they went through, you're like, okay, well, I don't know how this is going to play out. You don't know if some of them survived or not. But Darth Maul's story has been told.
But you do know that Darth Maul gets killed by a ghost lightsaber.
Yeah, right.
That doesn't even hit him.
What do you mean his story's been told? Only like the end. Well, he just shows up like as a fully trained Sith in episode 1. You don't know anything before that, unless you count the Plagueis book, and he's a very minor character in that.
And that's not official, so you can't.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like the best you can do is show how he got to episode 1. And in episode 1, let's face it, he wasn't a very interesting character. He was a mysterious character.
Yeah.
He had like nothing to do. He had like 4 lines.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love him. He looks great, but his character didn't get developed until they brought him back in Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. with everything between 1 and him coming back in Clone Wars, you could almost care less about that. He's living in a hole and he's making giant metal spider legs for himself.
Yeah, right.
And then he comes back in Rebels, and then he has an epic, air quotes, lightsaber duel with Obi-Wan.
Yeah, that was. And by epic, you mean anticlimactic, correct?
I had to watch. I swear, I had to watch that thing like 8 times on my phone, and I just kept going, "What? Like,
Yeah.
what happened? Nothing. Nothing. Just nothing was there." I was like, "That's it. That was the big sell." Okay.
Yeah, that was not. See, I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I would have to say that if they were going to go with the prequel era stuff, which I really hope they go back to, because there's a lot of really cool storytelling stuff they could do off of the prequel era.
Yeah.
And they haven't done a lot of it. I go back to an idea that AJ, you and I have talked about a bunch. Sifo Dyas.
Yes.
That's that mention of Sifo Dyas in episode 2 is just like when they say, when he says, that Rogue One is based off of one line in the opening crawl of episode 4. It's like that one little thing. You're like, what the hell is that? Like you could tell.
It's like the name drop of the Clone Wars in episode 4.
Exactly. You could, and the Sifo Dyas story, I mean, it just, the prequel backlash really sucks, because they're not going to go near that stuff because they're afraid people are going to crap on it. But
I would just do the opposite personally. Like, if Disney's just been printing money hand over fist with this franchise.
Yeah.
I would, at this point, my balls would be so brass. I would be like, what do you hate? Oh yeah, we're going to do a movie about that then. I'll show you.
But the problem is that
they've got to be so confident in their abilities right now. They know they can make anything.
They would make it, and it would be awesome, and then people would love it, and then they would just go.
See, that's actually something I was wondering today. Like, if people will the prequels ever go from everyone going back, finally looking at them and being like, okay, now we like them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like one of those, like they age and it's like it'll look campy and everything, but you're like, okay, well, this is all of a sudden kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I always wonder if that'll happen. But I mean, the reason I don't think they would do anything with the prequel era now, especially Sifo Dyas, is because it is a political type of a storyline. And one of the biggest single complaints about the prequels is, it's political crap. It's like, so people would see that and go, I don't want to see more of that. So it'd be an interesting experiment. I agree.
That's why you just fill the trailer with action and then give them nothing but the.
It's Lincoln with a few lightsabers thrown in,
which is all too bad, because as we discussed, I can't remember if we did this on the air or not, but the same time period would be exactly coinciding with the fall of Dooku.
Yeah,
since he's tied into all of it. I want to see that story.
Yeah.
That'd be great, because you've got two characters on opposite ends of the spectrum, and they're at least coming together on a single path, if not just crisscrossing. It's like I've been watching too much wrestling lately, man. I swear all my analogies are coming from WWE, but it's like the double turn, where like during a feud, the good guy becomes the villain by the end and vice versa. That's exactly what it was. Like Dooku was the good guy, and then Dyas like got pulled down like by him, and so I guess it really wasn't a double turn, but
yeah,
whatever. You get the idea.
Was
though.
Dooku on the list?
Actually, he was not. And I have one that's
one strike, AJ.
There's one that was not on the list that I actually think would be kind of interesting. Would be Palpatine, even before episode 1, because it's like to show, how he. And again, they won't do it because it's all this political crap, but to see him growing strong in the dark side and putting things in motion to get to the point of episode 1, I think would be kind of cool, because that's how you could have Darth Maul. You could even have Dooku in that.
True.
Like have him training both and they don't know about it. And, and he's also this like politician guy. Like it'd be, there's some different story threads you could tie together in that one movie, which would be, and he's a great character. I mean, everybody loves the Emperor. So, I mean, you could do more stuff with that.
At this point, it would basically be a Pixar movie though, because you're not, the actors have either aged out of the roles or have died. So you're not going to get these guys to play them. So it's either recast or a whole lot more of Rogue One trickery.
Yeah.
All right. Who else we got on the list?
Well, as AJ said, Yoda. I actually wouldn't mind seeing a Yoda origin story.
A young Yoda movie would be pretty cool.
I think you could do that based off of what they're going to show you about the Force and the Jedi in episode 8. Because if you did that, then the Yoda prequel could almost be
Well, that's true.
It could almost be the Yoda standalone could be almost a prequel to episode, like a way back prequel of episode 8. Like, Yoda kind of starting the Jedi training and all that kind of crap,
That is
cool.
true because yes, Yoda's the oldest living Jedi when we meet him, but he's by no means like, it's not like the order started with him. It was already in existence because they said, for 1,000 years and he didn't make it to 1,000. So clearly the Jedi already existed.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be interesting. And plus that
you can introduce a lot of new characters.
I was just going to say, you want to talk about building a franchise. You go back, 800 years in your timeline, all of a sudden everything is new.
It'd be awesome if they did.
But then you run into, I'm just a villain of this podcast tonight. It's the Star Trek problem with Enterprise, where all you're going to do is you're going to have to retard all the technology by 800 years. So it's like, well, we don't have lightsabers. We have sticks.
They paint them.
And we only know like
there's hand cranks on the lightsaber.
Yeah. we know like
you just
know, like
it's like a fishing rod.
It's like those camping lights that you got to do. So it starts real dim and then you got to keep cranking the piss out of the thing. And then it finally lights up kind of bright for a couple minutes.
Back in my day, we didn't have lightsabers that came out with a button. We had hand cranks. Flippity flew.
We didn't force push anyone. We had to punch them.
What would be awesome if they did a Yoda prequel is they have Yoda like learning to be a Jedi, and then next to him they've got Maz Kanata, and then Yoda, and they're like, Yoda, you have graduated, and they go, Maz Kanata, you have not. And she goes, f it, I'll just open a bar. That would be awesome. Just explain the Maz Kanata backstory with one damn sentence. You failed Jedi school. I'll go open a bar. Okay, so I got it. That's how Maz ended up in the bar business.
I'll go make my own Jedi Order.
Yeah.
With blackjack and hookers.
Right?
Forget the Jedi Order.
F the Jedi.
And the blackjack.
Right? So,
nice Futurama reference there, Steve.
way to go. All right, so there's that one. We talked about the Boba Fett one. I think there's a lot of stuff you could tell about Boba Fett, which would be kind of cool.
If Clone Wars is still canon, which it is, there's actually kind of a tiny window there.
Is there?
Well, so they get him to, come on, help me with the timeline of Clone Wars here. It ends before Order 66. So you've got about 20 years before he shows up in episode 4 in his fully finished form. So there is a 20-year gap you could tell stories of, but he's already like 15 at least, and he's already hanging out with Dengar and Bosk. So how much more of his story is there to tell?
Boba Fett and those bounty hunters are like the intergalactic version of Stand By Me.
Really?
we should go back to the Clone Wars cartoon where they're all three in it and just erase the audio track.
Pie contest.
Just put the song over it. Like they come on screen here. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Okay, we could. As we're going, I'm like, I actually know way more of that song. When the night has come, and Dengar and Bosk are the only bounty hunters we see. That's pretty good.
All right.
I don't know if I was on the correct rhythmic pattern for it, or
I wasn't either.
But
so
hey,
fine.
who cares?
Musical interlude.
Look at that. All right. But I mean, you have 20 years. I mean, I think it goes back to the Han Solo story. Like, is there going to be enough there to tell that's worth making it canon?
Yeah, it's a lot like the Han Solo thing where like you'll see how he gets the Falcon.
Yeah.
So Boba Fett, you'll see how he gets the armor.
How he gets Slave One.
How he gets his ship back.
Yeah, right.
Okay, based on that, I'm gonna say Lando is on the list.
Look at that. Good guess, man. That actually was one of them. That was actually one of them.
I'm like, if we're grasping for straws here. Then let's have a Lando movie.
Lando's is just him trying to build up his credit and go get a business loan to buy the Tabana gas mine. It's like, damn it, my credit score was a 580. I got to get this up. Son of a bitch. I have no collateral.
Every 5 minutes, he's just bumping into people he recognizes. What are you doing?
He walks into the bank. You've got a lot of guts coming here after what you pulled.
He gets his loan and he starts complaining about it. The loan officer says something about altering the deal further.
He's like, you need to go hire an accountant. He goes and finds Lobot, but Lobot actually has a comb over the electronic thing. It's just in Empire, it's like years later, so that's why he's bald. But Lobot used to have hair. He's got that horrible, like, balding accountant comb over the electric thing.
Your loan is actually a variable rate, and your balloon payment is due. This deal's getting worse all the time.
Pray I don't alter it any further.
He fires one of his business partners. Sorry, but I got problems of my own. That's what they just have him use all of his lines that come later on in the future.
They're just shoehorning all of Lando's lines into a movie.
He's applying for a loan for like 100,000, but he gets a check for 125,000 credits. He looks at it and goes, "Whoa, what have we here?" Like, oh my God, what's next? What are they gonna do?
Pizza guy shows up. He's already eating Chinese. I'm sorry, they arrived right before you did.
He finally gets the mine open. He goes, "That thing's operational."
Actually, that might be one of the deleted scenes from episode 8 for all we know.
Yeah, right.
It's a little different context there, but it is Billy D.
Oh my gosh, that would be so funny. Just recycle all of his lines, make it the least original movie ever. It's like the laziest Star Wars writing ever. I just find out what he said in Empire and Jedi and just use that. All right, so we have 2 left.
So the Lando thing, because every backstory has to revolve around a single event that's referenced. So I'm guessing this would show his maneuver at the Battle of Deneb at some point.
Yeah, that's what it would be called. It would be called Calrissian : Tenab. Yeah, that would be all he does. What he did was he realized they're going to get their ass kicked, and he's like, "This, I'm out of here," and he just flies off, and everybody else dies. And so it turns out his maneuver was just to chicken out. He's like Sir Robin and Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Lando Calrissian ran away, bravely ran away.
Oh, I didn't.
When Lando gets his business loan, he has to tear down some homes or something. They're owned by Wookiees, and he starts getting attacked by one. I had no choice.
See, we just wrote a Lando standalone movie. So the second to last one that I would
trademark
that's on there, yeah,
trademark 2017.
quick,
Yeah,
the Obi-Wan
not
movie.
Today, Disney, not today.
You owe us $4 million for the idea. Yeah, but the second to last one is an Obi-Wan standalone, which we've actually discussed on the show already. So our thoughts on that are known. So
okay, there are 2 options with the Obi-Wan standalone, though.
Okay,
there is his life as a Padawan before episode 1, or there's his time between episodes 3 and 4.
Which do you think would actually be a more important story to know?
Or actually, really, I mean, yes, he's had a lot of coverage in the Clone Wars, but they still reference events in his past from the Clone Wars, which have to have occurred in the timeline of the movies. Like the whole whatever thing he had going with Satine.
Duchess Satine, yeah.
It's not like, did he hook up with her when she was like 10 or something? Like he was still... He was like a Padawan from age like 4 or 5, we guess.
And I mean this.
So when did he hook up with this chick?
Yeah.
And depending what we learn in episode 8, 9, whatever, the Obi-Wan story could be not even something we know yet.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, there's so many rumors of Rey being a Kenobi, that.
I'm sorry, I think that'd be awesome. I don't mean to cut you off, but.
And if that's the case, I know we talked about how that's low hanging fruit before, but if Rey is a Kenobi, then absolutely a movie, showing the events between 3 and 4, you would really want to see that.
Yep. Well, the very last one.
Wait. AJ's got a guess.
Let's see. What haven't we pulled on yet?
It's super
Shadows of the Empire.
No.
Damn.
It's super obvious.
Okay. Super obvious. All right.
Snoke backstory.
No.
Nah, damn it.
No.
Oh, wait.
Okay, so what is it then?
Wait. No, I'll let you say it because if I'm gonna say what I want to say, it's gonna be really stupid.
You don't know? Go ahead. It's not going to be stupid. We're just guessing.
No. If it is what it is, it's going to be very stupid.
So say it because it is really stupid. You can do this.
It's not a.
That's why
it's not a Darth Vader one, is it?
Hit the bing.
Are you kidding?
Yep, that was.
We got 6 movies.
That's what I said. He's like, we can do a Darth Vader like backstory. I'm like, what do you already got it? It's called the prequels. But he does mention that the prequels weren't good. So of course there's that, you know. So basically, I think in a way,
let's retell
reboot.
So
they want to reboot.
Let's reboot.
Vader origin
let's
story.
pull a Jurassic Park and we'll just go 2 and 3 don't exist.
Yeah,
1 exists, then Jurassic World, then Jurassic World 2. 2 and 3 aren't here. So we're just gonna forget that the prequels exist and just make a whole new Darth Vader story.
What would you do if they actually did reboot? Like if Star Wars pulled a reboot and basically said, like the people now running Star Wars basically just did the ultimate crap on the prequels move and go, no, that didn't happen. We're going to tell it our own way.
would be extremely disappointed in Disney, and honestly, I would hate to say it. That is like grounds for not being a Star Wars fan. Like that is almost.
I'm almost there with you.
Walking away from a franchise. If they did that,
I am almost there with you. That's why I asked if they pulled that and basically jumped on with that vocal minority that just destroys the prequels and said, well, we're going to retell that story then and remove the prequels from canon.
Love it or hate it, you can't do that.
That's what I think.
The books you could take away, Star Killer and stuff like that and say that's not canon anymore. You can't take the prequels as good or bad as you think they are and go, no, they don't exist. That's crap. We're just going to remake them again.
Yeah.
I think they wanted to, but part of the deal when you're buying Star Wars from George Lucas is you can't throw out anything that he did. So
literally 50% of his work at that point.
Right. So that's why the Clone Wars came along with the deal too, because they're like, well, George did make this, so we have to accept it as official.
What if Disney bought
you
Star
can't just
Wars?
Disavow something the original creator made.
Yeah.
What if Disney bought Star Wars and they just said, we own the rights to 4, 5, and 6, and nothing else exists? It would have been like, you are dicks.
Yeah, I would have been like, all right, cool, we're getting more Star Wars, but this is the biggest bunch of horse crap I've ever heard, because to disavow half of the saga is just so. I'm
so annoyed at the fact that I got that right. That somebody thinks that we should just throw away.
That was my very first thing when I saw Vader backstory. I'm like, we already have that. It exists. There's 3 movies, dude. I mean, what are you going to do? Like, I mean, do you want to see between episodes, 3 and 4? Okay.
Let's not forget those 6 seasons of Clone Wars he was in too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only other thing that would make sense with that is
you're going to go before episode 1. You're just going to watch him crawling around in the freaking sand, getting pissed off that there's sand in his diaper. Oh, he hated sand from an early age.
Really, that would be the tagline on the movie poster. It would be Anakin Skywalker. He hated sand from an early age. ... That'd be awesome. It's just a chubby baby in a diaper on a beach.
South Park reference. Yeah. What, you got some sand in your vagina, Anakin?
Now, dude, literally, there has not been a single official canon on-screen Star Wars movie without something of Vader in it. Even 7 had the melted helmet.
Yeah, good point.
He's been in everything.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think you need it. But the one thing he did bring up, which I guess you could turn into a cool story, is him completing the Jedi Purge after Order 66.
Overexposed.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying at least that's something that
is that's another thing you could cover in 48 minutes on Netflix.
Yeah. No, I agree. Well, with that, why don't we close up shop since we
let's close it up. I'm pissed off now. I hate that guy. I hate that person that made
we had such a fun episode. We ended on a downer like that. Oh my.
It's not a downer. It just is what it was,
Well, good thing that's only wishful thinking of one fan.
Well,
I hate Darth Vader now.
It was a cool article.
Such a light side guy now.
No wonder you just balance transferred off that Star Wars credit card with Vader on it before this episode. It was foreshadowing.
Well, we've got one more standalone that we're supposed to be getting, and we don't know what it is yet. So what do you guys want it to be?
Again, if I could pick anything, and I know I'm going to be way in the minority, I want the Sifo Dyas story.
I would second that. Steve?
I'm going low hanging fruit. Give me the Obi-Wan one, or give me. I would rather see a Mace Windu, but I'll go low hanging fruit.
Mace Windu, Qui-Gon Jinn would be a good one.
Yes.
Qui-Gon Jinn would be a kick-ass
In
one.
general, I think the prequels are a very fertile storytelling ground beyond what's already been told because there's so many characters. None of them got there.
Yeah, we've covered it before that, Mace is like the world's greatest lightsaber, wielder ever that the universe has ever seen. And you see him use it for like 8 seconds in 2 movies.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know, but
yeah, Mace, Qui-Gon though. I'm going to go Qui-Gon on prequels. I'm totally going Qui-Gon on that one if we got to go prequels because let's face it, that dude was like, he's so unique amongst his Jedi of the era. Don't you want to know like where that came from?
I guess we're not closing up shop, so don't hit the music.
I'm not done talking yet. Sorry, I'm not done talking yet.
When you get to this point, Steve, don't hit the music.
I'm fired up now.
I'll bring it in and fade it back out.
He goes boom 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 boom. Do the record scratch.
I'm not sure which thing Star Wars fans like to do more, bitch or write their own storylines. So we're kind of in that second phase right now, and so now I'm all like pumped up. We could make a 3-hour show if you want.
Well, I would be cool with an Obi-Wan one because it would have Ewan McGregor no matter what, and I thought he was absolutely incredible as Obi-Wan. So that'd be good. I wouldn't mind a Boba Fett one, and that's, let's face it, that's probably what it's going to be. So, but supposedly
the only reason I would say no is because I figure we're going to get some type of that in the Han Solo movie. Aren't they going to? Well, or did they never cross paths?
They couldn't resist putting Ponda Baba and Dr. Evazan in Rogue One, so I'm sure.
So I figure they're going to cross paths somehow in there.
Supposedly, if they do a Boba Fett movie, it's more like a bounty hunter movie. Really?
Oh, so like the
with
old
him as
video
kind of like
game.
the leader guy.
Well, then I'm all for it. Then I'm all for it because that totally opens the door to Cad Bane getting in.
Yeah, Cad Bane would be awesome as long as they use the same voice.
Yes,
that guy was
totally
awesome.
made the character.
So I would do that. Obi-Wan's fine. Like I said, I would love Yoda. That'd be interesting.
I think Yoda would be a great one, honestly.
Yeah, again, if you're gonna throw the whole idea of the Force and the Jedi on its ear, to do a Yoda backstory, it would look. You could have
It's the same thing as Mace, the guy that's the top of the Jedi Order as far as we know, and you only see that little bit when he's fighting Dooku and a little bit of the Order 66, but. How the hell does Yoda get there?
Yeah.
It'd be kind of cool to see everything that gets him to the top of the Jedi ladder.
That is such a tough story to tell, though, because you're talking about a character who's going to be hundreds of years younger. So he's going to be almost unrecognizable. If you can't go that far back in his timeline and then have that movie end with him being the same recognizable character that we see in the subsequent movies.
No, but
it's like either he's going to be so different that it doesn't even connect, or he's going to be too similar and that doesn't make any sense.
It depends how far back you go. Maybe you can have a nice chunk that would end kind of where episode 1 would start, so you wouldn't throw off the look so much.
Well, it could be like the origins of the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, and if you think about it, imagine they just make a Yoda movie. Okay, imagine the Yoda movie is what it is. Okay. Now imagine in episode 8, they don't do anything to change your idea of the lore of the Jedi. So the Yoda movie's kind of like, okay, well, these guys are good guys of the galaxy. Cool. But now imagine episode 8 turns your idea of the Force and the Jedi on its ear. Now the Yoda movie is kind of, it's foreboding because you can show the same things, but like if you see somebody being kind of like a dick, that it's like, this is kind of like where it all started and what Luke is referencing in terms of, well, the Jedi turned into a bunch of a-holes kind of thing. So it would give a different flavor to the Yoda movie. And I mean, you could show like reasons why Luke believes that the Jedi Order isn't what it used to be. I mean, you could literally have the Jedi be almost perfect.
That's true. Qui-Gon is our only connection to whatever they used to be. Because by the time we see him in the prequels, they're off the path.
Yeah.
But I'm personally, if they're going to do Yoda, what if they do like more like a Golden Girls movie? It's all the old Jedi. So you've got like Yoda, you've got like Oppo Rancisis, you've got that old hunchback dude who was like in a Clone Wars episode with Ahsoka, and maybe like Ki-Adi-Mundi. Like just all the old Jedi. Dooku. Let's put Dooku in there because he's an older guy, and it can be like he'd be like the Blanche, where he's like got the mouth and the ego. And then he just says, y'all, I'm going off to the Sith.
Thank you for being a Jedi.
Travel hyperspace and back again.
You're a friend and a Force user. Boom, boom, boom. And if I threw a party and invited all the Jedi I knew,
you would see the biggest lightsaber be from me, and the
Kyber.
card attached would say, thank you for being a Jedi.
Yeah. You would see the biggest Kyber be from me.
All right, so the
Well, if we're
title
gonna
of
rewrite
this
the lyrics-
episode is going to be Nerfherder Council
Sings.
The musical.
the musical.
If we're rewriting lyrics, then it would have to be, and if I formed a council and invited everyone I knew.
We're rewriting the lyrics. I don't know which is more stupid, the fact that we're rewriting the lyrics of the Golden Girls theme, or that we remember the lyrics of the Golden Girls theme.
Or that it fits.
I know. That was perfect. And if I formed a council and invited every Jedi I knew, you would see the biggest Kyber be from me, and the saber attached would say, thank you for being a Jedi. See, you can't use Jedi twice, though. Yeah.
Oh, boy. And this is before we started drinking, too.
Yeah.
Our next stop is to go to the bar.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Why don't we get on that?
yeah. All right, Steve, now we're going to close up shop.
Gotcha.
So, all right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in to another episode of the Nerfherder Council. We appreciate it. Thought we did pretty good for not really having a set topic tonight.
I have no idea how I'm writing up this show synopsis.
Random poodoo.
Right.
Our age-old idea of random poodoo. But anyways, guys, thanks again for listening. We appreciate it. Coming up here pretty soon, we actually will have a new bumper at the beginning of the show because we're officially affiliated with Audible.
We like them audiobooks.
Yes, and we and we're not just saying this, but I have a ton of those on my Audible account. AJ and I have been Audible users for years now, so it's pretty cool to actually be able to have something at the beginning of the show eventually that says, we like Audible. So anyway,
Anytime we talk about a book, it's because I listened to it, not because I read it.
And now because we're affiliated with them, is our show going to be on there for people to listen to?
I haven't actually looked into Audible podcasts, but I hear that's a thing now, so I should probably get on that, huh?
That'd be cool.
Okay, sure.
So we'll look at that. But anyways, you can find us at nerfherdercouncil.com. We have our Spreaker page, which is pretty much the main place to find us. We're on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, all those fun places. You can find us on Twitter at NHC Podcast. You can call and leave us a voicemail message. That is 440-987-WARS. WARS is 9277. You can send us an email at feedback@nerfherdercouncil.com, which we did get feedback last week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've received, and before I finish up, you need to change the email address to go to our Nerfherder Council, because it goes to my personal address, and I've responded through the Gmail, and the people didn't respond. Like, I invited them to call in via Skype and be a part of it while we're doing it. And
He
ask
doesn't
the question.
like you.
Yeah. Apparently not, both of them.
I don't like you either.
Yeah, the second one too. But so we got to change that. But anyway, you can send us an email at feedback@nerfherdercouncil.com, and we'll read your email on the air and discuss what you would like us to discuss, which we'll do next time since we have a couple of emails. We'll look those up.
Cool.
So until next time, I'm your host, JT at Dog Pound Jedi. He's AJ.
At Drake Adams 579.
He's Steve.
At JSteve1005.
And we will catch you next time. I don't know which is more stupid, the fact that we're rewriting the lyrics of the Golden Girls theme, or that we remember the lyrics of the Golden Girls theme.
Or that it fits.
I know. Thank you for being a Jedi.
Travel hyperspace and back again.
You're a friend and a Force user. And if I formed a council and invited every Jedi I knew, you would see the biggest Kyber be from me, and the saber attached would say, thank you for being a Jedi.
bucket of bolts is never gonna get us past that blockade.
This bucket's got a few surprises left in her. Plus, me and Chewie are on it. Ain't that right, Chewie?
Hell yeah, you my nerf herder.
You my Nerfherder.